Hello and welcome to another episode of my Working with Apple series, and today I'm going to make a very bold claim. Apple Notes is the perfect note-taking application. Now, why do I say that? Well, the reason is because of a little exercise I get many of my coaching clients, particularly ones who are new to the productivity field, in how to decide what is the best to-do list or best notes app or best calendar is for you. Now, as I was doing this exercise recently on myself, I discovered that even though I generally use Evernote for most of my note taking, it turns out Apple Notes is the perfect notes app. Now, how did I discover that? Well, first of all, I sat down with a piece of paper and I wrote out, what do I want a notes app to do? That gave me a list of items that I do need a notes app to do. And then when I compared Apple Notes with Evernote, I discovered that actually Evernote falls down in two areas and Apple Notes excels into those two areas. So what are these areas for me? Well, the main area for me is it needs to be quick and accessible from whatever device I'm using, whether that's my iPhone, my iPad, or my desktop. Now, I am in the complete Apple ecosystem. I don't use any Windows or Android devices, so I am completely in the iOS or macOS system, which means Apple Notes is available quickly on all my devices. When Apple updated their Mac operating system to Ventura last year, they added quick notes to, actually the iPad was always there, and they added quick notes to the Mac OS, which means now just a swipe down of my finger on my Mac and I pull up a quick note and I can drag and drop stuff in there. I can add text. I can, if I'm on my iPad, I can use the Apple Pencil, and even on the iPhone, there is a way of doing it. It's not as easy as it is on the iPad or Mac OS, but it is there. So quick access, absolutely brilliant. When I look at Evernote, yeah, on the desktop it's fine, it's great, it works brilliantly. On a mobile device, I'm sorry, Evernote is horrendous. It's just so fiddly, the text is too small. Oh, I just don't want to use it on my mobile device. And that's actually also on the iPad because they're using the mobile app on the iPad. So forget it, I'm not using Evernote on my mobile devices. Evernote on my laptop, absolutely brilliant. And as I say, I just absolutely adore it. And there's 13 years worth of notes in there that I'm not willing to pay the price, the time penalty of moving it all over. But anyway, that's for another day. Now, the second thing is that Apple Notes is very simple. I don't want, and you don't want, I can assure you, you do not want lots of bells and whistles, shiny buttons and features in a Notes app. The reason is that's going to cause you to fiddle and play and not do what needs to be done. It's a horrible thing. I know app developers, in order to differentiate themselves from the competition, they need to add new buttons, they need to make it look better, they need to do this and that. But that doesn't help us. We need something that's going to encourage us to do work, not encourage us to play. And so Apple Notes is brilliant at that. There isn't a great deal of features. There's just enough features for you to do the things that you want to do. I think, if I'm being honest, one of the things for me with Apple Notes that actually isn't great is text formatting, and tables are just horrendous. But when I think about it, I don't actually use tables that often. So it's not a deal breaker. But Apple keeps everything really simple. There's no fancy features or abilities to integrate with other apps. I should point out, those applications that integrate with other apps, they are the ones that keep breaking. Sync stops, the connection breaks and you have to re-establish the connection. And quite often you don't know when that's happened, and that means suddenly you just go, wait a minute, something's not working, something's not syncing, and now you're spending time trying to figure out what it is, fixing it, and now you don't have trust in your system. The biggest thing that you need is complete and utter trust in your system, and that means you trust the tools that you're using. Another reason why Apple Notes is the best note-taking application is it's also part of Apple's Spotlight search. Now you can use Notion, you can use Obsidian, you can use Evernote, whatever notes app you wish, but that will never be part of Apple's Spotlight. Now this could be a proprietary thing that Apple have in place, or it could just be that app developers haven't thought about making their search system part of Spotlight. I don't know the reason why it's not there. Apple Notes is built into Spotlight. So as long, for instance, I have a note which is called Important Numbers. That includes all the details of numbers like my VAT number, my company's registration number, all the details that I'm probably going to need when I'm out and about. I can use Spotlight, boom, and it finds that note immediately. If I have that in another Notes app, I have to open that Notes app, click on search, start searching for it. Yes, it doesn't take long, but it's 3 extra steps when I can do it directly from Spotlight. Another one that I really like about Apple Notes is it doesn't use Markdown. Now, I know a lot of you power users out there absolutely love the ability to use Markdown, which is essentially a very simple way to format your documents. And I know many software developers live by it. I know many power users in Notes absolutely love it. But for the 99% of you who are not software developers and power users, Markdown is just a confusing mess. And it isn't something that most people even want to have the time to learn. Sure, I know some basics of Markdown. It was relatively easy to learn. But I'm also thinking about my wife, who is not interested in the same stuff that I am. She just needs a Notes app that's going to work. What she types is what she gets. It's the traditional WYSIWYG, which, if I remember correctly, WYSIWYG is what you see is what you get. That's what she wants. She doesn't want to have to try and remember to put quotes around something, brackets around something so that she can put a link in. You know, she just wants to drag the link or paste the link in. You know, that's what she wants to do. So she's not interested in that. And I look at my wife as being 99% of those people out there who are just not interested in things like Markdown. So Apple doesn't even recognize it, doesn't even have it. You can't use it. So you have to type what you say. But then comes to another one which I absolutely love about Apple Notes is you can use text to speech. Now you can use Siri to do that, or you can just open up your keyboard and press the button down in the bottom right hand corner and start speaking, and it will type what you are saying. It's a genius. Now it's very simple, although I'm sure it's not to build, but it is very simple as a user. So I have the choice. I can type, I can text to speech, I can use Siri. It's all built in before you start. You don't have to start connecting things together. It's just genius. It works. And so really that's what it comes down to. Apple Notes does exactly what it says on the tin. It's a Notes app. Notes app is there to collect all your ideas, your thoughts, your goals you can put in there. It isn't a word processor that you can actually start formatting text. For that, we have Pages or Word. You know, you can use those to format text. Notes app is all about collecting those quick thoughts, those quick ideas. That's what a Notes app is good at. It's also a great place to keep checklists and all sorts of other things which Apple gives you. It's great. So, okay, I know for power users, Apple Notes is never going to be enough. They're going to want more and more and more. And if you do know Markdown, that's fantastic. Use it. And there are plenty of apps out there like Obsidian and Rome Research who recognize it, and you can use it. Actually, so does Drafts, which is another little extension type app that I use. But for me, I don't have the time to go into the depths of learning Markdown. I think there's better things I can do with my time. So it's up to you. But what I'm saying here is I think Apple have done a fantastic job of developing the perfect app. The only sad thing is it's only available on iOS and macOS devices. People in the Android world or Microsoft world don't really have the same experience, although you can access it through the web, as people using macOS. But perhaps that is Apple's intention all along. So there you go. There's my say on Apple Notes. I do believe it's the best note-taking app out there. And I know I'm going to get comments in the comment section. Are you switching from Evernote? No. No? Yes. No. The main reason is that I've got 13 years worth of notes in Evernote. And as I mentioned, Evernote on the desktop is brilliant. It works supreme on the desktop. So I have no intention of switching away from Evernote. I use Evernote as my company's CRM. I keep track of all my coaching clients in there. I keep track of research materials for my books because that's what Evernote does, and it does it brilliantly. Evernote is lacking on the mobile. It's lacking on the quick notes, the quick ideas and stuff like that. I get ideas for these videos. I get ideas for new courses. I get ideas to solving problems. I need something faster than Evernote is on a mobile device, hence the reason why Apple Notes is still a part of my life. I compartmentalize it simply because Evernote is the heavy lift stuff. It's there, it's been there a long time, I understand it, I know it. Apple Notes is for that quick stuff that I need to collect. Quite often, if I'm collecting ideas for a project, I will just copy and paste whatever I collected while I'm walking my dog or out for a run, and I'll just copy and paste it into the project note, which is going to be in Evernote. And now I know all those people who are you leaving Evernote are the people who didn't get to the end of the video. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this episode, and it just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week.